guys, I am back, and I've got another blade from Forseti Steel, which basically is specifically for another video I'm doing with my Patreon guys, those supporters, which is part of the Cooking with Doc P series. But I'm going to do the unboxing here on the general channel. Then me and the Patreon Bubbas, we're going to make some beef jerky of various types with this cool knife. So this is not, if you remember the last Forseti Steel unboxing I did, I mentioned there was a kitchen knife I really wanted. They still don't have that one that I wanted, but this one was readily available, and they offered this one to me to use in that video I'm doing, and I said sure, because it looks really good. I'm really excited to see what's in this box. So remember, I had to do a little investigating, but pine boxes is what all of their knives come in. Now, I was thinking last time, if you wanted, it would be very simple to put a really nice stain on this and a little polyurethane gloss yourself, and actually just give this another level of like aesthetic value, we'll say. Make this look really, really nice. But it's a nice box all on its own. It smells good. It's got the pine smell. It wouldn't if you did the stain and the gloss. So just like the other ones, you got the Forseti sticker. You've got the thank you. All of Forseti stuff is handmade. It is a 7.5 inch knife. Wow, the pattern on this is beautiful, and it being a bigger blade, of course, we can see much more of the Damascus pattern that goes into it than the previous knife we saw. Once again, everything being handmade, so every single one of the knives they have is going to be a little different than everything else in the same line, because it's all handmade. This one, the weight, it almost feels like it doesn't have any. It's a really lightweight knife. Feels really nice to hold. I had mentioned 7.5 inches. I'm sorry, this is a 7-inch blade, not a 7.5. This is actually the Itamae 7-inch Santoku Damascus steel chef knife. Itamae is Japanese. It means in Japanese it translates to in front of the board, which is their kind of indirect translation for chef, right? In front of the board, in front of the cutting board. So we've got a rosewood and olive wood handle there in that kind of iconic angled shape. It is lightweight. It feels good. I love this knife. I still need to get my hands on the standard 8-inch chef knife, which I'm going to buy myself. They don't have the exact one I wanted in stock, but I just checked and they have another one, which I'm going to throw down on myself as soon as this video is done. I'm going to get the Kodiak 8-inch chef knife, which looks awesome, but this is going to fulfill our purposes very well for the video we're doing. Feel nothing going through paper there, nothing at all. In terms of your ability to chop, slice, dice, I feel like this has it. You know, it's interesting because it doesn't have a real forward heavy feel, but the lightweightness of the whole thing just feels real. I don't want to even mess with it until I actually cut stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a little clip when I'm actually, I'm going to put it in when I'm actually cutting meat. First cut with the new knife, guys. You all excited? All right, so I like to cut at a little angle. Oh, this cuts so beautifully. Oh, just look at that. So one of the things you would be concerned with using a Damascus knife in the kitchen, though, is keeping it clean and making sure that you don't give any opportunity for any rust or corrosion or anything. So what does that mean? Number one, you don't want to put a handmade Damascus knife in the dishwasher. You're going to want to, gentle soap, water, and a sponge, clean by hand, and you want to dry it right away. So that's going to be important. Now, a Damascus knife is an impressive piece to keep in the kitchen. This one looks really good. 1095 and 15 and 20 layered Damascus steel always looks good together. I don't know exactly how many layers go into this one. You know, if I find it afterwards, I'll throw it in text. But anyway, what I was saying, ooh, that's very nice, clean cutting. Of course it is, chef's knife, so there we go. It is a beautiful blade. Like, I mean, I can't say that enough. Great pattern out of the box, and you can see, I don't know if it's going to show up on camera, but you've got the striations all along the spine of the blade. It being for, you know, fine food prep work, it is a very thin blade, flat saber ground blade. So back to what I was saying about care and maintenance. So yeah, you're going to want to wash it after use. You're going to want to dry it completely, and then just give it a light coat of oil on the blade. And nothing fancy. You could take, you know, a little bit of olive oil or something, just with your finger, just a very, very light coat, and then kind of wipe away the excess with a paper towel or something, just to keep this looking good in between uses and keep it nice and clean. Now, if you are in a place without a lot of humidity at all or whatever, if you're in like a desert environment, you might be able to forego the oil, but it's, you know, it's a great way to keep your, especially in a place like a kitchen or a place where you've just washed this off, just to make sure you don't get any rust and corrosion. It's a good measure to do with all Damascus steel after you wash it. Now, with another kind of blade that's not going to be in touch with food, I might use more of a penetrating preservative type oil than this. But of course, you know, with a kitchen knife, you want to use something that's food safe all the time, and, you know, just plain oil like olive oil or something like that will do what you want. It'll displace water and not let corrosion get on the surface of the blade or work any further. So beautiful, beautiful knife. I love it. Now, I don't have any discount codes or anything for you guys, but if you go to the Forseti site, now you can find stuff on Amazon for a little cheaper than the Forseti site itself. But if you go to the Forseti Steel site, there should be a little thing that pops up, and you put your email in, and it gives you like a 20% off your first order code. Oh, and another thing is, Damascus steel, if you're going to be using it for kitchen work, you might want to give it just a quick wash before you do it, because they could have, you know, probably has a little bit of an oil treatment just to keep it looking nice and beautiful before it gets to you, to prevent any corrosion, you know, of any kind. Also, now you'll notice that the packing material it comes in, this will help keep moisture off the blade and everything, but just give it a wash just in case, and then, you know, you can go to work with it. But this is beautiful, gorgeous. I love this blade. Forseti Steel really does impress me with their handmade blades, and I am going to order that 8-inch chef knife that they have in and check it out for myself, and you guys will see that too. But for Patreon folks, Kitchen Cooking with Doc P starts tonight. We'll all get some delicious jerky out of it when it's all done, so I can't wait to see how this thing slices and dices in the actual kitchen. Well, guys, seriously, if you like to work in the kitchen, though, if you like to do stuff, having a real good quality knife can make such a difference in your. It makes it a lot more fun than having to struggle with honestly like a Walmart $5 knife. You know what I mean? Like having a real good quality chef knife really, really makes a huge difference that you don't even know. I remember I sharpened up Sam's mom's knives for her once, and they weren't like, they were like a cheapo set she got, but like, you know, I put a really good edge on them all once, and she said to me, she's like, I had no idea what it was like to cook with good knives until you put an actual edge on my knives for me. And then she immediately went out and bought like a really good like knife block with really good knives. After that, she never wanted to work with crappy ones again. But I mean, so if you enjoy working in the kitchen and cooking, get yourself, whether it's this or any other, get yourself a really good, just at least one really good chef knife to work with. you'd be amazed at how it makes things different and just more pleasurable in the kitchen for you. So, okay. Well, anyway, guys, one more time, just looking at this gorgeous pattern. Yeah. All right. Does anybody have comments on this? And this is, by the way, this is not an art piece. This is designed to be used. I mean, it is an art piece, but it's designed to be used and get like a place where you can show it off. So when people come over and they see it, and they're like, "Oh, you must be a professional. Look at your fancy knife." Okay, all right, guys. I'm excited to go use it. I gotta go get in the kitchen. I gotta use this thing. So remember, you are all absolutely awesome. I appreciate every single one of you, and I'll be back again real soon.